Now at 6, one shooting after the other. A violent weekend in Prince George's County, 6 shootings, all within the span of 24 hours, and we are there as police investigate.
The evolving aftermath of the FBI raid of former President Trump's home in Florida, how Mr. Trump and the rest of the Republican Party is reacting.
And vandalism at a Catholic school in D.C., the damage done and the search for a motive tonight. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Vanessa Webb on the much cooler Monday.
Yeah, the cloud coverage intact, and we're tracking some rain from your local Ford Weather Center. But I do see more sunshine in your 7-day forecast. We'll discuss it coming up.
And good evening. Thank you for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Mark Hall in for Chris Flanagan.
Hi, and I'm Tasmeen Muffees. We're starting in Maryland, where communities in Prince George's County are reeling today after another violent weekend.
Yeah, police have been busy with a fatal shooting after fatal shooting, and still a lot of unanswered questions at this time. Now, these are the names of the victims that were shot and killed over the weekend. The youngest victim, 16-year-old Antonio Parker Jr. of Seat Pleasant. Parker was shot several times. He was found by police in a convenience store parking lot, and he died at a nearby hospital.
Yeah, and as we can see, there's a troubling trend all across the nation right now with the rise in crime. And Joseph Almo is breaking down the numbers in Prince George's County and the outcry for change.
Well, today we took a closer look at what's really going on in Maryland's second largest county. This is the Prince George's County Police Department's annual report. It's 68 pages long. It is stacked with lots of info about violence. So let's zoom out for a sec. Here is the full 5-year picture. Since 2017, there's been on average over 4,200 violent crimes in Prince George's County each and every year. Take a look at the numbers there. We're talking murders, assaults, rapes, robberies. And if you do the math, that means that there's, on a normal day, roughly 11 instances of violent crimes being committed in the county. But here is where the data gets really disturbing. Take a look here. We're going to look at the homicides by the numbers now, the murders in the county. According to this county police annual report, homicides were pretty steady in 2017, 2018, and 2019, as you see here. But look at this jump in 2020. It's almost up by 50%. And then again, last year, 116 homicides in the county. So if you take last year's average, it essentially means that there was a murder in Prince George's County almost every 3 days. So it's something, of course, that has the community really heated. People are looking for answers because many of them tell us they just don't feel safe anymore in their own tweet, in their own neighborhood. Take a look at the tweet that was sent out by our contributor, Larry Calhoun, over at DC Real-Time News. He said, "Folks, don't be afraid to demand the very best from your leaders. I'm never afraid to hold them accountable. The last 4 days, it's been homicide after homicide." So you're already seeing those calls for change really getting louder, not just on social media, but in person. This past Friday, the state's attorney for Prince George's County held a public safety rally. DC News Now's Yamari Sase was there. She reports on the county for us. She said she saw several parents who lost their kids to gun violence. The event, dubbed "Our Streets, Our Future," included some music and food, among other festivities. So, another weekend in PG County marked with violence, but it isn't just what happened over the past 72 hours that's raising eyebrows. With those crime trends headed in the wrong direction, we are hoping to hear from the county's top officials to press them about what they're going to do to reverse the trend. Reporting here in the studio.
All right, Joseph, thank you. And that violent trend continued this morning. A UPS worker is lucky to be alive after getting shot at a barber shop in Suitland. He is in stable condition. DC News Now contributor Larry Calhoun captured the images that you're seeing on your screen right there just moments after that shooting took place.
Well, developing now a word of warning. The FBI and the Department of Justice are sounding the alarm. Threats toward federal law enforcement are ramping up in days following the raid at former President Trump's home. Well, that raid in Mar-a-Lago came as part of the DOJ's investigation into possible violations of the Espionage Act by the former president. Now, this morning, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are calling on members of their parties to ramp down on those recent attacks. California Congressman Adam Schiff leads the House Intelligence Committee. He denounced that rhetoric Sunday on Face the Nation.
The reaction of many of my Republican colleagues and those around the former president to attack the FBI over this and endanger FBI agents is just another damaging level of irresponsibility.
Well, in the days following the raid, some Republican members of Congress called on defunding the FBI.
And a federal judge says that South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham must testify before a special grand jury that's investigating whether then President Donald Trump and his allies broke any laws while trying to overturn his narrow 2020 general election loss in the state. So Senator Graham's attorneys had argued that his position as a U.S. Senator provided him immunity from having to appear before the investigative panel and asked the judge to throw out his subpoena. But the U.S. District Judge fired back in an order saying that immunities related to his role as a senator do not protect him from having to testify. Graham's subpoena instructs him to appear before that special grand jury on August 23rd. He is expected to appeal the judge's ruling. And today, prosecutors in Atlanta told lawyers for Rudy Giuliani that he is a target of their criminal investigation into possible illegal attempts by then-President Donald Trump and others to interfere in the 2020 general election in Georgia.
Yeah, Giuliani's local attorney said that he could face criminal charges. The county Superior Court judge has instructed the former mayor of New York City to appear before the panel to testify on Wednesday. Well, we're your local election headquarters, and the big question this afternoon is Governor Larry Hogan making presidential plans. Hogan is fresh off a trip to Iowa where he met with voters at the state fair. On ABC this week, he said that he wants to win elections, not lose them, and get the Republican Party back on track. Now, here's what he had to say when asked about running as an independent.
That's not something I've ever considered, no. But I can tell you, I understand why all people are talking about that, because they're frustrated with both parties. And a majority of people are really kind of fed up with Democrats and Republicans and all this angry rhetoric and toxic, divisive politics.
Well, looking ahead to the midterms, Governor Hogan believes that it will be a good year for the Republican Party. Well, today marks 1 year since the Taliban took over the capital city of Kabul in Afghanistan. The group is treating today like a holiday, marching and chanting through the city, holding small victory parades. Now, 1 year later, the Taliban is struggling to keep control of the country as Afghanistan faces international isolation and little help from other nations. Millions of Afghans have fallen into poverty in months following the Taliban takeover. Well, back here at home, as today is the 1 year anniversary since the Taliban takeover in Afghanistan.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at how refugees here are resettling. Michaela Newton spoke with the local organization that helps refugees coming to Frederick, Maryland, get back on their feet.
That's right. The organization I spoke with is the Refugee Welcoming Committee in Frederick County, and one of the co-founders I spoke with told me that when they started the organization just a year ago, their main goal was to help with that smooth transition for Afghan refugees. In September of last year, RWC experienced a high volume of refugees in response to the Taliban taking over Afghanistan. So far, they've helped 9 families find housing, jobs, schooling, and other resources to help them build a new life in Maryland.
I am a first-generation American, and I am a daughter of asylum seekers. So this does speak it is near and dear to my heart. So what we want to do is to help refugees kind of get back on their feet with dignity and become contributing members of our community here in Frederick.
Dr. Blott also told me right now it's unsafe for refugees to return back to Afghanistan. The organization is pushing for the Afghan Adjustment Act, which will provide a pathway for those refugees to get permanent and lawful residency in the United States. For now, reporting in Frederick County, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for DC News Now.
Michaela, thank you. And the Afghan Adjustment Act was introduced last week in the House and also the Senate. And also tonight, China announced on Monday that it is once again organizing military drills both in the water and airspace around Taiwan. And this comes after a 5-member U.S. delegation landed on the island for an unannounced 2-day visit. Our Washington correspondent Anna Warnicki shares more.
Good evening. This is the second group of U.S. lawmakers to visit Taiwan this month. Lawmakers say they're there to show their support, but the unannounced trip has sparked a military response from China.
A delegation of 5 U.S. lawmakers, led by Massachusetts Democratic Senator Ed Markey, touched down in Taiwan Sunday.
At this moment of uncertainty, we must do everything we can to maintain peace and stability for Taiwan.
Senator Markey says the two-day trip to the island is to reinforce U.S. support for Taiwan and promote peace. The group met with Taiwan's president on Monday, who thanked the U.S. for their continued friendship. But the trip, which comes just 12 days after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited the self-governed island, angered China again, resulting in large-scale military exercises off of Taiwan's coast. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the U.S. delegation's visit violates the One China policy. Under that policy, the U.S. acknowledges, without endorsing, China's position that Taiwan is part of China. The Taiwan Relations Act says the U.S. is not required to defend Taiwan militarily, but is required to ensure it has the resources to defend itself.
The PRC has entirely overreacted.
State Department spokesman Ned Price says China's aggressive response was unnecessary.
Members of Congress visiting Taiwan is entirely in line with our longstanding One China policy.
The delegation is scheduled to depart on a U.S. government plane from Taiwan late Monday. For now, in Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki. Back to you.
Well, all of us who call the D.C. metro area home know just how annoying all of the DMV traffic can be. And with kids heading back to school, you can expect even busier roadways. Our traffic reporter, D.C. News Now's Shanika Grimshaw, found out how some parents feel afraid as they send their kids on their way to class.
As more students return to school today, a new poll says that almost a third of parents are worried about the safety of their kids' drop-off in high-traffic areas. According to the poll released by the University of Michigan C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, 31% of parents worry about their child's safety to and from school. 28% think it is likely a child will be hurt near a drop-off area. Meantime, 81% of parents say their drop-off zone is always supervised. Parents believe that school officials must take action where parents do not follow traffic rules near schools. Parents are also concerned about driver distraction and speeding. The respondents also noted concerns over parking in no parking spaces and drop-off zones where they're in the wrong location. Experts say that school administrations should take action such as clearing, marking traffic flow, as well as using on-site officers to supervise. The authors also suggested banning parents who don't follow the rules. The polls also included responses from parents and kids ages 6 to 12. 58% of parents also say they support officers giving tickets to parents who do not follow the rules. For DC News Now, I'm Shanika Grimshaw. Back to you.
Shanika, thank you. Well, vandals strike, leaving behind a lot of damage at a D.C. Catholic school. In a post on its website, St. Anthony Catholic School says a statue was knocked down and broken. A concrete window sill was also broken. According to the school, 3 playground benches were pulled out of the ground and damaged.
And expanding eligibility right now, more people are able to get the monkeypox vaccine, and DC Health is changing its criteria so that way it aligns with the CDC. The change went into effect Saturday. The expanded eligibility includes anyone with multiple sex partners in the past 2 weeks, people who are sex workers, and staff at businesses where sexual activity occurs. Now, the changes apply to people who live, work, or get health care in D.C. It includes people of any gender and sexual orientation, and you must be 18 or older to get the shot.
Well, Arlington County has ended its local COVID-19 emergency. The county says it will continue operating vaccination clinics and offering free testing. Additional flexibility for hosting virtual meetings in the county will start September 1st. Outdoor seating at restaurants will also continue until February. The declaration was issued back in March 2020 to help the county's response to the pandemic.
Hi, Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Janessa Webb. Man, what a fantastic weekend, huh? You were hoping the weather rolled into the start of the week the same way, but the cloud coverage really thickened up last night, and we are contending with a few sprinkles across the DMV. Nothing on the severe side, but the cloud coverage is pretty thick as we have a very thick cloud shield across the DMV that's not going to be broken down until about Wednesday afternoon. So we are tracking just a few spotty showers right now that are well to our west. You can see out towards Winchester, to Front Royal as well. This is just kind of nuisance rain, and that will continue throughout the evening. I am watching that possibility of a few storms picking up across the Blue Ridge later on this evening due to an area of low pressure, but it will not be widespread or an equal opportunity for everyone to see the rain. So you do have that low pressure across the Carolinas right now, sparking up some severe weather, but the clearing, it's actually trying to happen across the Ohio Valley, and so that is what we are waiting the arrival of. And I know you've heard people say this is almost a fall feel. I would not go that far, okay? Temperatures, they are slightly below average, but there's not as much cooling that's going to continue to take place. You can see Wednesday, Thursday afternoon, we are hovering in the lower 80s, but we're on track to see temperatures along with humidities bumping up once again, and also following some more sunshine. We'll talk about that coming up.